Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on their fight story. Hi, Alan. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Iggy. Good. You?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So, we are now in the beginning of 2025. What do we have in store for New England YDL?
So we have our New England YDL number 8 happening on March 2nd at Gillett MMA in Tiverton, Rhode Island. And this is our eighth event since we started back in 2019. So it has been going pretty well so far.
How can parents and coaches get involved as far as registering or volunteering for this event?
So they can email me at neydlmuaythai@gmail.com, or they can just simply go to neydlmuaythai.com and send me messages, and they can find out the social media link to the organization, so they can reach out to me directly or whatnot. Plus, we are a nonprofit organization too, so I can, donations or volunteers highly encouraged.
For people who would like to purchase tickets ahead of time, what can they do?
So right now I have not set up the link yet, but I will set up a link for all the tickets about 2 weeks from the event, because the registration is ending a week before the event, and I will have the opportunity for sale for discount entries online to purchase for 2 weeks, and then at the door is going to be a little more expensive. Just simply, I try to streamline the process, and hopefully the parents and fans will take advantage of the pre-sales, perhaps you call it.
Yeah. Now, one thing people need to understand is, like you said earlier, New England YDL is a nonprofit organization. It was created to help children that want to go into the path of Muay Thai. Now, what
Correct.
is
Yeah.
it that people can look at this event, this show, that's different from other events?
So our main goal is really to get the first steps of the children that who's interested to compete in a safe and controlled environment. So,
Mhm.
you know, the the league started, because there weren't like a lot of opportunities for the youth to compete locally. So then, it kind of started this just because, hey, pretty much I was officiating the same fighters at two different shows within the same month. And then I'm like, we don't really have a farm league in this area. So that's how the whole, mission started. So
Mhm.
the whole idea is just to get them to get the first step, instead of like, inter gym, quote unquote hot sparring or whatever. We have the experienced officials there, referees and judges that gone through like the courses, judge and ref, local shows like, no boundaries, lion fights
Mhm.
and, stuff like that, cage titan. So like these are, state licensed official for Massachusetts or for different states. And we are doing it in Rhode Island this time and using the same quality official. So safety is my main concern. So hence why we are doing it. So the show is really for them to get the first steps, and then you have many competitors from Hot Knocks, from Team Link Muay Thai, from Red Seal. They started with our program or events, and then eventually they go to doing bigger shows, bigger events. I know they've done WAK, tournaments and stuff like that. I believe Nick Rossi won it a couple years ago down in Florida from Hot Knock, and I believe Kevin Jr. from Red Seals did pretty well as well, and also other competitor who've been through the event. They all, they have, if they're interested, they can go to the next level. So, so for me, just really providing the first step for them to get the, you know, get the nervousness out of the way and move on, So that's the purpose of the league.
Yeah, and another thing that people need to understand and take under consideration that it's very important to be honest with the information that is being disclosed,
That is correct.
because
Yes,
that is what we need in order to properly match these athletes. If we
correct.
don't have the right information, it's not about putting their name out there. We're putting them at risk, and we're trying to avoid that.
Yeah. So pretty much quote unquote, sandbagging is definitely not allowed. So so what I do, like, through, for the past 7 events,
Mhm,
every single one is a learning experience. So,
mhm,
and now what we do is really, emphasize the information that the parents and the coaches or whoever registered the athletes to provide with the most accurate information. And that's what I use to base on to the groupings or matching of the kids. So now, if whoever registered and provide information and it's not 100% correct, and and then it turns out you didn't, it's just being outclassed or the other kid being outclassed or whatever, like we would just stop the
mhm,
match and call it because, like I said, if it's being outclassed with the information given, that's not correct, and that's not worth it. However, if the coaches and the parents are both agreed to take on certain matches that could be more challenging for the athletes, but if they don't both agree to it, the coaches from both sides and then the parents, then if they both agree, then we would watch it more
mhm.
closely because it's a little more challenging for one of the athletes or whatnot. But again, we still use the same methodology. If we see our class is being done, then we just probably stop the fight, unless the other person can dial down and make it more like control sparring sessions
Mhm,
at that point. So that way, both athletes can still get the experience. But
mhm.
mentally and physically being hurt in a negative way, during the event is not one of my, you know, um, what's that word? Not opportunity, but things that we would like to do, obviously. So we try to protect the children, the parents, and everything else. So we're doing the best that we can to provide a safe environment for the athletes.
Yeah, and that's why it's really well respected because the first thing that we keep in mind is the safety of the fighter. It's not
Yep.
about having so many matches. It's about making sure that they're matched correctly, that they're safe.
Yeah, to me, like I really don't care about, like how many bouts I have,
Mhm,
as long as they match, correctly based on the information. Again,
mhm,
what we can also do is we can have exhibitions that
mhm,
to put couple, competitors there that is not closed in, within the normal what we would match, like the age, more than 2 years, more than 10 pounds and
mhm,
different experience and stuff. But if they agreed and the athletes understand that that could be a controls like exhibition,
mhm.
then yes, we can do this. When we
Exactly.
can do it for like 3 1 minute rounds, no head contact, and again, we see like heavy shots and start landing, like none of that stuff really for
Mhm.
exhibition. That is really more to getting there to get the experience at that point.
It's very difficult to find a location because
Yeah,
we have to consider, the school vacations for the kids. So we take a lot on under consideration. We also want to give thanks to Tim Gillette for helping us provide a location for these events.
yeah, especially for indoor location too, it's
Mhm.
really hard. And when we did outdoor, and it's just too many challenges. Like one year would be
Mm,
freezing, the other year would be like
100
like
degrees.
so the 100 degrees so hot, and like people get like it's just so challenges. And when
Yeah.
we try to move to different location indoor, and the cost is just tremendous. It's
Yeah.
so so expensive. And I understand that, I have, entry fees and
Mhm.
spectator fees, but all that is going back to the event. So like
Mhm.
going back to the shows, and if I have any surplus, it's going to invest back in it. Like if I break even on the shows, I am happy. Like
Mhm.
a lot of times I might have literally no more than
Mhm.
few $100 surplus. So I understand the frustration, or like this, like the parents could be like, hey, I spent X amount of dollars for registration, I still have to pay. I'm like, unfortunately, yes, because if I don't collect like spectator fees and stuff,
Mhm.
I'll be in a hole for at least $500 to $1,000, like easily, just at a loss. So,
Mhm.
as much as I like to provide, a platform, but I'm not in a position that taking losses. So all I'm really looking for, just breaking even,
Mhm.
and hopefully the parents understand that, and I'm trying to really make it as affordable as I can.
Yes.
Because that's why we have, kids under 10 years old is free, because, if a family had multiple, children and stuff, so they want to see the siblings. So I don't want them, to charge them and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
if a majority of the parents have no problem, contributing back to the events, because they know it's going back inside. So I'm doing it totally because, the kids, the excitement,
Yeah.
they happy and stuff. So that's why we are doing this.
And if anybody else has any questions, they can just go to the website, and it has all the information, all the requirements, all the rules, and they can,
Yep.
take it into consideration if this is really something that they want to do. And we're more than welcome to have people join, people volunteer. Thank you, Alan. Before we conclude with this interview, is there anything that you would like to share with the
Just come support, Team Gillette. So much Gillette MMA is helping us tremendously, and we don't, we last event we were a year ago in February at the same location. So it has been almost a year, gonna be over a year since
Mhm.
our last event. So I'm trying to keep this at least annually, because it is a lot of work to host the event, especially me being not owning a gym or nothing. I am really just the promoter in a way, to provide a platform for the athletes to compete between the 6 to 17.
Mhm.
So, it's just tremendous amount of work, but every time you feel like you don't want to continue, is all the messages that you get from
Mhm.
the parents or coaches and stuff. Hey, my kids really, miss this, this and that, and really that's kind of what drives me and keep this going. Because it's the appreciation of the field that really keeps me going. Like you have
Mhm.
a lot of people kind of have negative things to say, but then it's the ones that positive that really keep you going. So which is great. It's just a human nature. You know,
Yeah.
uh, but so every time when I see like a comment that have a positive effect, or positive reflection of the league, then I appreciate that, and I drive it and share that with my team, because we all a public person, because a lot of us are you know officials in combat sport for different
Mhm.
commissions and different like organizations. So we're pretty exposed. So every time when we
Mhm.
see something positive towards what we are doing, is greatly appreciated.
We look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you again, Alan.